Well, hello there, friends. I hope that you're all doing well on this Saturday, March 30th, 2019. I hope that you're enjoying your last remaining days of March. I'm doing alright, doing better. Not 100%, but mobile. I have been walking every single day, twice a day. It's I had one of those things where um, mostly bedridden for a couple of days, and and you kind of have you start researching a lot of stuff with whatever you're going through, and obviously it can go in the direction of like turning into fear porn almost, of like so much that you read about or of like, wow, all the things that can go wrong with a human body, um that somebody sits at a desk hunched over and how much they can screw themselves up, things like that. But came across just the work of a couple of people, Robin McKenzie, who I'm familiar with already a little bit, and Stuart McGill. I think especially when it comes to spine stabilization and stuff like that, but kind of waiting for this to get a little bit better before I do any exercises. Just you read about, at least for me, going for walks is good for your spine. So I mean, as if I didn't need another reason, right? So I've been walking each and every single day, twice a day. And then, well, since you walked and your body's warmed up, perfect opportunity to get your stretches and lower back rehab stuff done. So I've been doing that too. Stretching the hamstrings, hips, I think IT band, and then working on the McKenzie extension stuff. Getting better each day. And most importantly, though, is slowly, day by day, whether you feel like it or not, doing the things to ingrain that habit, because at this point it's no longer once it all clears up, I'm just going to stop doing everything again until you have like another flare up, right? Because this is now like the fourth time in 4 years where I've had a lower back thing come up, and it's not the worst one, but I mean, how many times are you going to have something happen to you before you're going to start actually listening to your body, And it's like every time this happens, I feel like I say this, but I think that this was definitely the signal that I now finally actually heard. And I mean, it's not even really about, so it'll wake you up in the morning, you can get started. It's just like, I go for a walk. I try to go for less busy side streets just so there's not as much traffic and it's more quiet. And you can kind of think, clear your head, and do, you walk. My back feels better. I feel better. Feel a little less stressed. Feel a little bit more at peace. It's something to see other than just your bedroom, right? You burn some calories, obviously, and all the other benefits that come with doing like a basic human movement that we sort of generally ignore in the modern world, right? But yeah, it's like I said, at this point, it's not it's not really a joke anymore. It's not something to just, oh, it clears up and then it's back to your old same shitty habits, because you're only going to get a certain amount of signals, messages, whatever you want to say from life, before they become much louder and worse, right? And it's a thing that I'm not going to say that I had some great epiphany or something like that, but I think that I've legitimately definitely had a mindset change. And it didn't come from listening to any motivational videos or, oh, I took a long, hard look in the mirror or anything like that. It's just, yeah, when you have something that affects your ability to walk or sit, and all you can do is lay down, you definitely start to think about, wow, perhaps I've taken things for granted, right? Boy, you have something that affects something like that in your life, and yeah, boy, you immediately, isn't that the case, how you take things for granted until they're gone, or something comes up that affects it, right? And then it's like, oh god, I've been kind of an ungrateful little shit, have I? And so I think it was the second day or something where, oh, and by the way, speaking of walking, I was going to go buy some walking loafers, but my dad was like, oh, hey, why don't you try these shoes that I have, see if you like them. Like, he wasn't going to give them to me, but, like, why don't you try? And yeah, tried them on. I was like, all right, these seem kind of nice, so I bought some, and I've been wearing them every single day, and they're honestly probably the most comfortable shoes that I've ever worn. They're like Merrell with a Vibram sole, something like that. But yeah, no problems whatsoever. Super comfy, nothing hurts. The only thing I'm experiencing is actually some muscle soreness in the legs, because I've definitely, I think it's been a long time since I've walked this much, this often. I'm not completely trying to overdo it right now, because I do have to let my body adjust to all of this, but it's good, Just feeling some soreness in the quads, some in the calves, so yeah. So that's what I got. Awesome fucking shoes, I have to say. Definitely the comfiest shoes I've ever worn, so. And let's see, where was I going with this? Hold on, let me stop the tape here and go back and see which tangent I was on, so I can pick it up from there. So yeah, folks, remembered now. Gosh, getting older, using my cognitive abilities here. So second day or so, went for a walk. I could feel some of the pain let off. Weather was really good. You're feeling better. It's that thing when you're in pain and some of it eases up, where you just have this huge, like, emotional release. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm in tears and stuff like that, but you feel better, the weather's good, and it all kind of hits you at once. Nothing that, like, brings you to your knees of like, oh, but just yeah, you've definitely, old Georgie boy, you have definitely taken a lot of things for fucking granted, and I definitely, like, regret how much I've complained about shit for the amount of time that I did. about, oh, my job, what about my parents, this or that, that it's very easy to get into this. I mean, I don't know. Like when everything is seemingly going okay, right? It's like, oh, I need to try to find something to whine about. But I don't know. I'm trying to find the words for this, but I've been very, I can very now clearly see at how unappreciative and ungrateful that I've been for a long time now. That I've not appreciated the health that I've had and whatever issues I've had with this. Like, it can be much, much worse, you know? Just talking to people who have things way worse than you can possibly imagine. And, like, goddamn. Boy, I definitely spent way too much time complaining about, my job. Because at the end of the day, well, I got a job. Things could be way worse. It's not all bad. Yeah, there's days that are tough, but, you know, what places don't have that? Think you're gonna like run away somewhere else and it's gonna be all peachy and wonderful? Well, at least it's gonna be new stuff to deal with. No, if you don't, you know, if you maintain the same mindset that you have, you'll go to another place and then start complaining about the same shit again, and it never changes, right? That I'm kind of easing off and I regret all the whining and complaining I've done about, oh, well, this or that at work. I mean, I've got a job, and there's definitely a lot of good benefits, not just literal like the benefits of through insurance, which is itself good. And it could be much worse, folks. And I've got stability, you know? I've got that stability that some people would definitely kill to have. So I very, very much regret complaining about it that I have. And I sort of regret some of the stuff that I said about my parents. I've not been a very appreciative and great son for kind of the opportunities they gave me to have the time to do whatever it is that I want. And I use that time to essentially, lay in bed and complain about life. So that was it was like a humbling and embarrassing moment just going for that walk and like, yeah, goddamn, I've been a fucking ungrateful shithead. It's not even so much feeling like I let them down, but it's just, I don't know, you know, I don't know what to say about that. I just regret some of the things that I said and did. What else? Yeah, definitely I wish. Well, can I say I wish because I probably wouldn't have paid attention is how it usually goes. That you usually don't pay attention until when you're younger, people will say things, but you just kind of brush it off until you start getting older yourself and seeing, oh yes, things that people told me were actually true. Definitely, though. Oh, if I only knew after, at 30 is definitely a very big threshold, and line that you cross in life with a lot of things, where you're all the bad habits and everything like that, and the abuse that you give to your body, bad habits, and putting off taking care of yourself. I mean, one of the things that I've actually started paying attention to now is actual posture, which in the past was one of those things like, whatever, yeah. Now it's like, oh wow, this can actually be a contributor to back problems. So I think, especially when it comes to sitting, bending over. But yeah, with sitting, I need to get myself a lumbar roll. That was one thing that I've encountered before, but just like blew off because it's like, whatever. But now it's, oh, okay. I see what this is and what function this actually serves. So, gotta order one from Amazon or just find a store that sells that kind of stuff so to try it out. Because, I'm not really sure which one. Gotta try some out, see which one feels good on the back. I've just been bringing like this little towel to work. Had a meeting that I walked in with this little towel. As people like looking at you weird. It's like, oh, don't mind me. I just need to put this. Oh, is this like a heating pad? Like, no, it's just a towel. Roll it up a little bit. Put it in that lower back area so you regain that lordosis or something when you're sitting. So little things like that. And for the first time in life, I'm definitely now actually very much thinking about long-term health things of everything. I think far too long I've sort of been in this mindset that I need to get to, by this point I need to get to this, and that's like an end all, that, oh, I need to get to this weight by this point, rather than focusing on, okay, how about like working on changing your habits on every level so that it's like a daily gradual buildup, working against the downward spiral that you've been in, so that you can slowly start going upwards, right? Instead, it's like, oh, what extreme can I look for so that, oh, by this and this point I can do this. But how prepared are you then for the long term? You're not, because you're just looking to expel a burst of energy, so to speak, rather than, maintain something long term, folks. That's my issue, isn't it? Far too long it's just been very short-term-ish mindset of things. So, hold on, somebody's walking by. Let me stop the recording so they don't get weirded out. Oh, why are you talking to yourself at the phone? Weird man. No, I didn't say that. It's just, get lost in your own little world and, oh, dance like nobody's watching. Something like that. So, whether it's crash dieting or something else, slow, steady, daily, gradual build up, so that it's not this constant test of willpower, so that it becomes a thing that becomes ingrained forever. Not just like a quick, short burst of energy, and then, oh, okay, willpower is gone, and then that's it. I think that I've also been kind of removed myself, I think, from a certain outcome with things. And what I mean by that, this is not like, oh, does this mean that you're gonna not try anything anymore? No, obviously not, but there are things I want to do, and I'm going to do, and I've definitely come up with plans of, things you do on your own, and then once you've got a bit under your belt, then you go to an outside source for the next steps, that there's like some sort of progression in the process. But I'm removing myself from the attachment of, well, I got to do this, and then this thing has to happen, and then this other thing has to happen, and if that doesn't go that way, it's all over, and I can't possibly be happy. And the reason for this is, it's not meant to be like, oh, that sounds depressing or something like that, and oh, are you just giving up? No, it's none of that. It's just I'm not holding. You can come up with great plans and do your best, but you don't ultimately know what the fuck is going to happen in life, what's going to come up, how things are going to go. You may work towards something and then realize, wow, this actually fucking sucks, and I don't want to do this anymore. But I told myself a while ago that, oh, this has to happen, and so now you're kind of dealing with I expected this outcome, but instead this other thing happened. I don't know how to mentally deal with that. So I don't know what you'd call that, but I'm sure somebody will criticize me for it either way. That sounds like you just giving up. There's honestly almost something freeing about it, of, yes, there are these things I'm doing and would like to do, etc., but I don't ultimately know how things are going to go, so I'm kind of removing that expectation in my mind, which can be very troublesome sometimes, can it? Can cause a lot of anxiety. So just a bit of gratitude for every day too, rather than always thinking about something far off in the distance. Some far off point in the distance, to the point where you ignore today, right now. The moment that, you got a day off from work, your parents are home, you can spend some time with them, joke and laugh. Oh, well, that sounds like cope. Well, I mean, there's going to come a point in life where you'll be older, they'll be older, their health will seriously decline, and you'll think back to moments like this and wish to yourself, like, I wish I appreciated the little moments like this more, rather than be a little, ungrateful, bitter little fucking shit, complaining about, oh, well, I went out to the grocery store and no girl looked at me, I'm so sad. I don't know, man. Maybe up to a point there's something to that, to talk about that kind of stuff, but I definitely spent way too much fucking time oh yeah, oh, I'm so lonely, why won't a girl look at me at work or something, like, oh fuck, man. I don't know. I just have regrets, That's kind of where I've been at. Little by little, day by day, reversing the slow downward spiral so I can go back up. Slowly ingraining good habits so that it becomes a thing that you just do and don't think about anymore. Sometimes they're easy, other moments are tough, but do it either way. Ironically enough, the ones after work, those are the ones that are toughest because you come home, you're tired, you just want to have dinner and then lay down, but whether the weather's good or bad, dress up, go for your walk, and you just feel better and you're glad that, well, I'm glad I didn't lay down and did nothing, because that's how it starts, It's how it starts. You miss one day or one this, and then maybe you can make up for it, but then another excuse comes up, and then you miss more, and then it becomes more and more excuses until you stop doing it completely, and then you're back to doing absolutely nothing, right? So that's sort of where I'm at. And I think a slow, gradual mindset change has definitely begun to just trying to find, like I said, a bit of gratitude for things and a little more appreciation for things. It's, obviously doesn't mean that you try to get anything better or that you don't work towards something else, but it's a little too easy sometimes to discount what you already have, right? Because when you're constantly focused on things that you can't control or can't control as much, definitely, there's some dogs barking at each other. No fighting. Come on, doggos, walk in peace. It's supposed to be a comfy place. When you're constantly focused on things that are out of your control or things that you can barely control, and you pay no attention to the things, or very little attention to the things that you have much more or complete control over, or much easier control over, you definitely, it takes over your life. You start feeling powerless. You start whining about everything in life. Start losing any appreciation for little things. It definitely becomes a vicious cycle, doesn't it? A vicious cycle. And there's a time and a place for some things to be said, of course, but it can be taken too far. It can be taken too far sometimes. And so I think that, people will say, oh, that self-improvement stuff is crap. And here's the problem. There's two types of self-improvement. There's self-improvement, as the two words say, literally self-improvement. And there's also quote-unquote self-improvement, where you're just doing it because, you want to impress girls or something like that. And that's the phony, oh, no, I'm not doing it for girls, it's for me. Are you sure? There's a certain joy and gratitude that you can get from, yes, I can put on some shoes, get dressed, and go for a walk and get some fresh air. This little bit of something that I can control. A little bit in the day that I can control and have gratitude and appreciation for. Because There's going to come a point in time in life where something will happen, or you'll get old enough, or who knows what'll happen, and you won't be able to do it anymore. And believe me, you're going to look back and wish that you spent more time doing stuff like this than, well, well, why don't girls like me? Oh, I don't have a girlfriend. It's like I said, there's a place for everything, but when something becomes a little too far, it can also be bad. So, alright, I think this is about it. I'm sure this can be written off as complete and utter cope, and that's okay. But that's where I'm going. At this point, I'm literally doing all of this for nobody other than myself. Trying to have a little appreciation for little stuff like this. And get whatever joy in life I can out of controlling things that I can control. So, on that note, we will end the video, and I am gonna just finish up my walk, folks. So, I think the sun's coming up, warming up a little bit. Had a little bit of snow here. Just that nice, fresh, crisp air. Yeah. All right, folks. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.